pretty much line by line, and then on the speciesism K.
Counterplan, case, speciesism.
And then well, first off, I'm going to do a case overview, but then.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm really confusing right here. I'm going to do case overview, go to the counterplan, back to the case, and then the K.
Cool.
But I'll signpost, let you know where I'm going.
Give me just 1 second.
Whenever y'all ready.
Okay, I think got it. Just this one dot, 2AC round 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay.
All right.
Yes.
There we go.
That
You
was
look great today.
That was a really good throw. It's like right there. Okay. All right, let's look at this. All right. Everyone ready, right? All right. All right, okay, when is your review? Current laws of prostitution are organized strictly 12. We need to focus on the demand side of the equation. When you get rid of the demand, then the supply will stop. The Nordic model promotes gender equality and gets rid of the demand side of the equation. Equality now 14. Sex trafficking is the exploitation of persons. This is on the right, and that's stone 05. This causes dehumanization, which is the largest impact on the round, and that's Dylan 99. This leads to the 0 point of the Holocaust. The destruction of prostitution is a critical first step to break down the capitalism, and death by capitalism is the worst. And that's slate 11. Capitalism was promoting the social construct of gender, sexuality, and sex. This construct of economics needs to be changed. The economics of sex and sex working constructs needs to be changed. Nordic model gives women opportunity. That's Murphy 13. We are not excluding voiding divorce, but we're approaching from the feminist lens. We need to get rid of this consumer demand, which is a root cause. Then we'll get to that. And then on to the counterplan. Firm to about the counterplan is included. We can win any offense they get on. The difference between legalizing nearly all and deep crime is the only offense for the app. Firm, do the app. The app is the middle ground. We aren't pure legalization or decriminalization. We're legalizing nearly all by making the sale of, but not the purchase of legal sex. Countable goes too far. What's 13? Decriminalize with nuisance stairwells and regular inspections of sex businesses is minimalist legalization on unregulated decriminalization. Several jurisdictions have legalized prostitution without reverse consequences. Total decriminalization without regulation, which would allow prostitution in a neighborhood, leave brothels, agencies, master parlors unmonitored for criminal life, and will allow advertise as sexual service everywhere. Legalization objectives should be held. Safety of workers, minors should be prohibited. And sex workers should not be able to force to register business owners should be subject to the background checks. Operators should be allowed to police can play a significant role in protecting sex workers' safety and rights in the Netherlands. Fertility and birth inspection sex permanent restrictions on advertising need to be just as alcohol and tobacco sex practices and routine health examination should be encouraged but not mandated because of privacy considerations. Institutionalized discrimination should be illegal. We should increase penalties for anyone engaging in exploitation or abuse. Too often, law enforcement turn a blind eye to the incident of prioritizing pimping, assault, bravery, and rape, sex. Regular symptoms on these restrictions as far as superior decriminalization guarantees works rights can enhance the health and safety and to attract more public support. The policies of voluntary decriminalization. And then back on case, no, like, grab all the cause of the case, they all don't link to us. We do not legalize all prostitution, therefore we don't need double harms. They just got the input of the permit is the eventual decrease in overall prostitution population. Agency, the Nordic model doesn't kill anyone's agency. All it does is that the demand and make it prostitution reduced. We're the only ones throughout this round taking a stand on ending prostitution, multiple capitalism, and human trafficking, and that's Title 13. One of the things that critics seem to find so difficult to comprehend by the Nordic model is actually about restricting violence, not about restricting those in prostitution. That's where criminalizing the prostitute person, the boss of the prostitute choice, but rather establishing the buying women system of prostitution, something that as are actually discouraged. It's pretty simple. The Nordic model acknowledges that less demand prostitution, trafficking, less prostitution, less trafficking by reducing the number of women to the particular type of abuse, creating better chance of achieving gender equality. With the problem, the model doesn't recognize there is a connection between the market of prostitution and sex trafficking, especially the demand digital service fuels human trafficking. So if you want to list you need to shrink the market for prostitution. The logic. The largest probably supported in 1,500 countries contract with the economists, the UK and Germany should the scale of legalized prostitution, the expansion of the prostitution market, increasing human trafficking safety. The Nordic model has not met the safety standards of prostitution. First things first, prostitution is unsafe. She said the Nordic model makes it dangerous. Disingenuous declarations also ignore research showing that traditional forms of legalization included virtually nothing to protect women prostituted, very high odds of physical, sexual violence, and psychological trauma. The system of legalization prostitution demand and expanding legal industry growling is falsely to pretend that the valid case of the prostitution is legalized. All women are actually in legal forms of prostitution. In addition to the rates of trauma and similarly across legalized or criminalized system of prostitution, the moral is capable of protecting women and selling prostitution conditions along with the prostitution that harm that make things over the original version of our maladjacent Sweden is part of the American reform. While government money supports a variety of service acts and violence against women, including specifically prostitution. We've seen this again in France with the law discrimination, the prostitution brought in alongside the major purpose of forms of violence against women. Next. Federal action is key. Federal interventions key to uniform alignment, prostitution, and informants methods of national anti-trafficking goals. Heights at 11. And it should be constitutionally perceivable that the federal problem of state prostitution pursues highly historical property and now being considered within the domain of state police powers. The initial adoption of the prostitution of the direct consequence of progressive era of the anti-American initiative before 1910. Enthusiasts of criminals, especially the capital economy, especially the main act in 1910 and ratified the law in 1919. The state law in 1920 is enacted in legislative law allowing prostitution. Most states only pass prostitution management the response to federal legislation. The abuses that characterize the prostitution exhibits local management, given its historical law and permitting the adoption of state laws, the federal government may will have the president respond to mitigate the undetected negative impact these laws and policies of tracking abuses both federal and provincial and likely the state and local agents form initiative. Proposition enforcement methods of anti-trafficking. Okay, in response to their that legalization fails and increases increases violence, and that's Matthews okay. Due to the ongoing and gender inequalities throughout the world, many view women as something that can be shot, bought, and sold, and this is also an argument against their how say that we don't even suffer capitalism, but we do, because during the ongoing gender inequality throughout the world, many view women as something that can be bought and sold. Legalizing ability to sell, but keeping a man's ability to buy is a way to break down those inequalities by limiting the idea that you can in fact purchase a human, and that's equality now 14. Exploitation of women and girls in the cultural sex industries about the consequences of gender and other equalities and just numerous human rights violations, including the right to equality, non-discrimination, and dignity to be formed, violence, torture, human and degrading treatment and perpetrated to the death acceptable by as long as the product can pay for it. The Nordic model challenges contract and tries to address those inequalities by preventing women and girls from safety rights, safety, non-discrimination, and by challenging when perceived non-existent right to buy women's body for sex. So we're not increasing violence, or decreasing violence, and as I said, we do have warrants in that slates 11 card. So because we're saying the first critical step is to break down capitalism, and by doing this, we're changing the demand. We're challenging the demand side of the equation and so through this equality now 14 card that I just said, that's how we're changing the economics. That's how we're breaking down capitalism. And then on to the care. Anthropocentrism causes every major environmental crisis till 2000. Anthropic assumptions have been shown to be largely responsible for the problem of environmental crisis and environmental ethics, which consists of the influence of rage beings and the anthropocentrism approaches to the notion that non-human entities have independent human rights. Non-human entities have become captive, and these interests of humans are open. Cut that part. Yeah. Human rights is good, and humanitarian interventions are highly effective. Western and Goldstein 11. In Libya, NATO success in protecting civilians and helping remove a corrupt leader has become a role of exception. The international media is growing increasingly at using the force to stop atrocities. And amid violence, major powers undertook the systematic reviews that failed updated strategies to foster new norms for civilian protection. Criticism to the campaigns of the in 1925 Charter acted in the most violent protected peace in the recent history. Have been pieces with the international media is unwilling to intervene and commit comprehensive studies found that aggression and were the most successful ending conflicts. Interventions to mitigate violence against civilians because killers, divert sources. Witness at typical records, but the frequency and intensity of attacks on civilians have. And on to their alt does not solve, because how can they embrace the standpoint of the animal? They cannot represent the animal, they cannot speak for the animal because they are not animal. So that there's no link to that. So they are not able to access their alt at all. And so again, human rights does not legitimize the species. Human rights is good, and through this app we are able to solve for all of this. So we're going to perm their alts, so we can also stand. So we're going to palm the earth. So if they claim they can stand for the view of the empire animals, so can we. So we're going to perm that. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there it's not mutually exclusive at all. And so we are not causing all the harms like because the root cause of all oppression. We're not causing this institutional bias for speciesism at all. We're taking in all voices, like as our our app said, we're not excluding voices at all. But we're just trying to stop prostitution. And the word prostitute is not, this is background case. Prostitute does not carry its gender implications. We are saying it's 5 seconds left. It's fun sign. Same for gossips.
What firms on the capital?
Perm to gov,
Okay.
and perm to the app.
How does that function? It's just like reasserting that the app is.
I mean, you're just not competitive. You just took one word out. You're functionally doing the same. You didn't even prove how, like,
How they're mutually exclusive.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. And what firms on the county? Just firm to vote?
Perm to gov, yeah.
Okay. So, what's the Nordic model? You mentioned that a few times.
The Nordic model is like you're legalizing the purchase of sex, not the purchase, the selling of sex, but not the purchase of sex.
So it's just simple that model.
Mhm.
So, I'm still confused a little bit at the bottom of the one I see. Maybe it's just me, but why is it necessary to solve capitalism in order to solve like?
It's not. You're mixing it up. You're
Okay.
kind of like flipping it over. It's
Okay.
like our Hertz 13 card shows that if you're not going to have trafficking, then you know that you took the measures to stop the demand. But if you don't stop the demand, then you're going to continue to have trafficking. So stopping the demand is a necessary condition to end trafficking.
And that's how we're changing the capitalist system, is by changing the demand and the supply part of the equation.
So only through changing the way in which we view economics would we be able to fully protect sex workers. Breaking down capitalism is the only way to break down dangerous social constructions of gender, sex, and sexuality. So
But answer your
by
question, though.
yeah, sure. So that's the tag of your Brent's and
Yeah.
cosmic evidence. So you have to break down capitalism to break down those social constructions which cause your harms. So how does how does just eliminating half of capitalism, the demand side, like result in the collapse of all capitalism?
It's a critical first step to take into ending all capitalism. We're not claiming that after this passage of the plan, capitalism is gone, boom. No, we're saying that this is a critical first step to ending all capitalism by eliminating the sex industry, which is it's a strong form of capitalism and has a lot of exploitation. And
But if breaking down the social constructions of gender, sex, and sexuality only happens if you solve cap, and you're not really solving cap, then
I mean, we're here, like, the first advantage is solving human trafficking. And then our second advantage is taking the critical first step to breaking down capitalism.
there we go.
So I think that, like, that's like, we're taking our thing that we're, like, I
That's
don't know how.
fine. So, just real quick, who can one advocate for? Like, who are y'all advocating for? Somebody? Anybody?
We're representing this case, like,
Right.
this is affirmative.
So is there someone you're advocating for, like trying to
If
help someone
you're
else?
trying to ask if we're advocating for a specific person,
Or just like, hopefully you're advocating for something to get better.
we're advocating for the human trafficking to be stopped, capitalism to get to break down that.
How much per ton do we have?
Thanks.
433.